Hi out there in around the world. I'm Trisha, and so I'm gonna do a video right now about a couple things. One of the things is I want to talk about this area where I'm at literally right now. It's called Skidway State Park, and it's one of my favorite places to go when I need to feel like I'm in more of a natural setting, even though there's campground here and trails and stuff like that. It still has a feeling to it that feels really good to me. And one of the things I like to do is I like to go to places that have multiple I don't know what the word things, that's not the best word, but multiple things on it, like whether it's historic, paleontology, mystical experiences, cryptid stuff, ghost things, all that is, all that, whether, archaeology. I love to go to places like that have multiple things, and it's interesting to me. I've kind of came upon it and realized that there's these places in the world that have, for whatever reason, the energy is of such, I guess, that there's these different occurrences and different coincidental things that go on here. Okay, so I'm standing right here because I want to show you back behind me there, above my head there, you see that building, that's the bathroom, and in front of there is bushes, okay? And so I was walking a couple years ago. I was on a hike and I was coming off of the trail, and it had gotten dark, but it was still like early in the year, so it was like dark at like 6:30 or 7 or something like that. But I wanted to come over here before I left, and so I was walking, and I was on this trail, okay, and I was a little bit farther back, and these bushes that are right there were lower because this was 2 years ago, and I could see the angle of right in here from farther away, but I want to just kind of show you. So up here, right in here, when I was walking, when I was walking towards here, I was looking off to my right, so I was kind of just staring off into space, into the forests, like into the trees, whatever. And out of the corner of my left eye, I saw white movement. And it happens all the time where you turn because you see something out of the corner of your eye, and it's just maybe a hair or a branch or something like that, and it's nothing. It's just an optical illusion. Or you see you do see something, but it's very quick, because that's very common in how our inner senses work. When your eyes are sort of when you see something in the corner of your eye in your peripheral vision. A lot of times it's because of that, like you're not seeing focused, and so there's something about that you can look into that dimension a little bit easier that way. This is what I've been learning about and understanding. So I turn, and now I'm looking straight on, right about in there, and there is a figure walking, literally a being it looks like a human form walking, pretty good pace, and it was literally made of golden white light, and that is the most visual, mystical thing that I have seen so far in my life. And I have been seeing and feeling and hearing and been touched and all this stuff since I was like 6 or 7. And so I couldn't believe my eyes, and it was totally in its own, experience. Wasn't having anything to do with me there at all. It was just totally doing its own thing. So it walked from here all the way to here, and then vanished into thin air. But it was walking. It was walking and walking and walking, gone. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was amazing. Like, what? So then I started asking around, like asking all the rangers here. I come here a lot to walk my dog and stuff. No one has had an experience here, and that's amazing to me. That can't be. Where I'm at right now is about 15 minutes from downtown Savannah, and Savannah is, supposedly super haunted, super active, all the energy there, all the different things in history there. But I saw this. And so, on this land, the Native Americans, the Native people were on this land for thousands of years, probably maybe 800,000, thousands, I'm not sure exactly. A very long time they were on this land before the settlers came. And then when the settlers came from England, they settled very close to here at Wormslow State Park, or Wormslow, I don't know, State Park or Wormslow, whatever. You can look that up too. It's not far from here. And then, so you can find, like, they're called shell midlands, I think it's how it's called, which is where they left all their piled up oyster shells. And then also near here, a giant sloth was found. So the paleontology, is going on here. It's very historic, all this stuff. And then not far from here is where they found I guess, I don't know if it would be called a barrel, a metal barrel or distillery or whatever, when it was the Prohibition days, and they were caught, and you can see axe marks in this barrel from when they were way back then. This was like, you probably had to take a boat out here to get out here. It was like out of nowhere. It was out of, like, far away. And then also the Civil War soldiers came here to prepare for the war, and they put up some earthworks in some different areas. They scouted out an area to put, I forget what it's called, but it's the little, like, the base that a cannon would sit on, and got it all pointed towards part of the river, getting ready. But they never actually were here during the war. But so all this stuff was going on, and I just think that's really fascinating. I love that kind of stuff. So I had that experience here, and so I'm gonna go walk over to another spot where I had a completely different experience, but related to what I consider like a mystical experience, a very unusual experience that I had with the elements. So I'll be right back.